the punchline. I'm your comic strip critic, and this week I'm finally going to do something that I've wanted to do for quite a long while, which is go back and talk about a comic that I've already done an episode about. And there are a number of reasons why I've been looking forward to this. Sometimes I think of new things to say about a comic that I've already talked about. Sometimes I read a comic from way back and it changes very drastically over time. And sometimes there are just a whole bunch of awesome storylines that I didn't get a chance to talk about. And since so many of you were asking for it, we'll be taking a look at Camp Foxtrot. Eventually. Yeah, okay, no, wait, so that was kind of mean, I'm sorry, but I still think you guys are going to like what I'm doing this week. We're taking a look at the Amazing Spider-Man today. You remember how much fun we had with that the last time around? Every time Spidey tries and fails to do something heroic, take a shot. Well, and then for Spider-Man, the superhero who commands absolutely zero respect whatsoever. Last time we saw Spider-Man, he was a complete failure of a superhero. Thor did all the work. He kidnapped his wife, he went to Asgard, he beat Loki, and he returned Spider-Man and Mary Jane home. Spider-Man's sole moment of action was serving as a distraction to the god of mischief and lies. Thor was really the hero in that storyline. Now, admittedly, the god of thunder is kind of an unfair matchup for Spidey. The villain this time around is a much more even fight for him. Or at least you would think it would be. I mean, you would think that the guy who could go toe-to-toe with people like Dr. Octopus and Venom could at least put up a decent fight against I'm getting ahead of myself here. Get ready for some web-headed hilarity, everybody, because this is The Amazing Spider-Man versus Clown-9. Our epic tale begins with Peter Parker accompanying Mary Jane to a cast meeting for her Broadway play. It turns out that the male lead, Vince, broke his leg and won't be able to act. If you go on stage tonight, Vince, who will take your place? I don't know. If only we had some sort of guy who would study under me and learn the part, so if anything happened to me, he could take over. But I guess we just don't have anything like that in Broadway. That'd be me! Name's Hardy Laurel, Broadway's next great comedy sensation. Hardy Laurel? Isn't that just... only it's... Wow. Wow! You're really running out of ideas for creative names, aren't you, Stan? Why don't you use some modern-day comedians that today's young whippersnappers might know, like Chappelle Rock, Foxworthy Engvall, Black White, or just come up with something brand new and original that's not completely and totally stupid. So, Mary Jane and Hardy rehearse for the play, and it turns out that Hardy is a horrific actor, changing the script because he apparently believes that people love clowns. In 2012? I seriously doubt it, man. I think I was 13 the last time I was at the circus. Despite his co-star and the play's director warning him against it, Hardy does whatever he wants on stage, even going so far as to slap Mary Jane across the face with a fish. Where does he get a fish from? Does he have it down his pants? Ew. What else is he hiding down there? No, I don't want to know. Don't show me. Naturally, since nobody in the audience liked the play, the director fires Hardy, who goes home and sees that he's been replaced with a movie star, Jericho Brand. Oh, right, Jericho Brand. I forgot about this guy. There's a running subplot during the entire storyline about this Jericho Brand guy being a massive womanizer, and Peter Parker is worried that he's going to steal Mary Jane away from him. Ultimately, it doesn't add anything to the story. It's pointless padding in a story that already has enough padding to supply an entire football game. Still though, way to show faith in your wife there, Spider-Man. I mean, it's not like she's going to be doing anything completely and totally radical like, I don't know, entering into a deal with the devil or anything like that. Oh. How dare those fools fire me? The basement will have just what I need. I've worked secretly in here for months. Now it'll pay off. Yes, my time spent making all of these gadgets was much better than attending any sort of acting classes or anything like that. So we get a couple of days of Hardy doing an angry, villainous monologue, building up suspense for his big reveal. What will his supervillain identity be? What terrifying persona will he adopt to battle Spider-Man and get his revenge on the director who failed to see his genius? When I wear this outfit, I'll be on Cloud-9. That's why I'll call myself Clown-9. Yeah, that's our big villain. We spent over a month setting up characters and motivation, and this is what we got for it. And it is stupidly, moronically hilarious. Oh, we gotta pick up the pace though, or this review's gonna take forever. So, Clown-9 arrives at the theater and attacks Jericho Brand with a water pistol that's had the pressure on it upped to that of a fire hose. And that's when Spider-Man arrives, and we spend a bit too much time on meaningless action that doesn't advance the plot. We see some springy shoes, some inflatable clothing that lets Clown-9 escape Spidey's webbing, but the real kicker here is that Clown-9 beats Spider-Man with laughing gas. I wish I was making that up. Spider-Man, the superhero who goes toe-to-toe on a regular basis with internationally feared supervillains like Dr. Octopus and the Green Goblin, is at the mercy of laughing gas. No, save that for later. We're gonna need it. Blah blah blah, boring domestic talk and Jericho Bland filler, stuff at the Daily Bugle with J. Jonah Jameson. Okay, here we go. Spider-Man figures that Clown-9 will attack the theater again, but our Joker wannabe is at a charity ball robbing Jameson instead. Man, I wish that glove was aimed just a little lower. Seeing Jameson get nut-shotted would have been so nice. So, Clown-9 robs the event without any opposition whatsoever, showing off an acid-spewing gun and detachable arms that can still remotely punch people. Okay, so our villain here is a failure of an actor who really likes clowns, and he presumably spent a whole lot of time and money making all these different gadgets. The clown outfit, the clown car, the spring-loaded boots, the fire hose pistol, the acid-spewing pistol. Why not just take all of these different things of yours and sell them for money? I mean, I thought your motivation was to get revenge against the Broadway director and everybody else who wronged you when they fired you, so why are you at a charity event? I don't think you need the money, so what are you doing? Anyway, Spidey missed Clown-9 because he was staking out the theater, which is actually a pretty smart move to do, but Clown-9 threw him for a loop. So, Clown-9 actually waits around outside the charity event and boasts about how awesome a villain he is. I'd pay money to watch this idiot go up against Carnage. Yeah, I can't believe this part. Clown-9 actually gives Spider-Man a free punch. You do realize that this is a guy with super strength, and you want him to hit you? And of course, I know what you're all thinking because it's the first thing that popped into my head too. It's a trap! But Spider-Man doesn't realize that. Spidey punches the clown nose and activates a sonic weapon that brings him to his knees. Okay, this is a villain who uses a ton of gadgets and has a clown theme. I would think it'd be kind of obvious that the nose is one of the last places you would want to punch him because, come on, man, he's gonna be having something there. You know that. So, yeah, While Spider-Man is down in agony, Clown-9 slaps a kick-me sign onto his back and he gets away for the second time. Spidey, I don't blame you for losing to Loki, but come on, man, this is a disgruntled actor who can't decide whether he's a super lame Joker or Inspector Gadget's evil cousin. I think you can take him. The writers can't possibly be writing Clown-9 like this and expecting us to treat him like a legitimate threat, right? I mean... Oh, no. I know what it is. He's an old Silver Age villain that they brought back as a legacy character specifically to make fun of in the newspaper comic. That's what it is, right? What? You mean he's a new character that they just created specifically for the comic strip? I can't, why would they, I literally do not know how to react to this. I think Stan Lee just broke my brain. Yep, there it goes. Wanting to have the next fight on his own terms, Spider-Man calls out Clown-9 to a circus showdown. There's some filler and padding for another week, but ultimately the showdown still goes as planned. Peter Parker hides in the audience and Clown-9 gets impatient waiting for the webhead to show up. So, to draw him out, that mechanical mouse, it'll panic that elephant. So Clown-9 just happens to have a robotic mouse made for scaring elephants as part of his arsenal, apparently. Alright, fine. We need to get the plot moving again somehow, so I guess I've got to accept it. Peter Parker changes into the Amazing Spider-Man, jumps into the circus, is tripped by Clown-9's extendo shoe, and sprains his ankle. Gosh, if only Spider-Man had a spider sense so he could see these things coming before they hit him, or spider-like reflexes so he could twist around and not hurt his ankle, but I guess he just doesn't have those things. And I guess he can just cripple Spider-Man by tripping him over. Yeah, sure, why not? Anyway, Spider-Man stops the elephant and chases Clown-9 into a crowd of clowns. And you would think that with that spider sense that lets him dodge all sorts of stuff, he could detect some schmuck in a clown outfit swinging a hammer at his skull, but no. Clown-9, an ordinary man, manages to successfully sneak up on Spider-Man. Basically, Clown-9 owns this fight, and I cannot believe I just said those words. He cripples Spider-Man, sneaks up on him, whacks him with the hammer, and finally finishes him off with a rocket-propelled hammer. Why would you even have a rocket-propelled hammer? Outside of this one very specific case, what use could it possibly have? But in the end, despite utterly failing to do anything as a superhero, Spider-Man defeats Clown-9 with a hidden joy buzzer. No, really, that's it. Spider-Man shocks him once and boom, that's it. The villain's defeated. So our superhero defeats a clown-themed villain with a joy buzzer that he had hidden away. Well, you know what? At least that's a pretty interesting and original and unique idea. Oh, wait.
I can't hear you. Ha, ha.
Jeez, this story, I mean, I don't even know where to begin. It was stupid and hilarious. It was even more padded and stretched out than the Thor storyline was. It was stupid and hilarious. The villain was impossible to take seriously and impossible to respect in any way whatsoever. It was stupid and hilarious. Okay, I think you get the idea. It's kind of pathetic, really, to see a Spider-Man storyline where the man who created Spider-Man forgets about some of his basic superpowers like spider sense. It's like forgetting that Superman has super strength or something. I mean, a proper fight between Spider-Man and Clown-9 would be a bit more reminiscent of this. This started off real slow, got absolutely hilarious near the middle, and just wound up with kind of a pathetic finish. Is it any good though? Yes and no. I mean, it's still stupidly entertaining, but it's not quite as good as the Thor storyline was. I can't quite say exactly what it is, but that just happened to hit that right note of accidental stupidity and hilarity perfectly. Right now, we're in the middle of a storyline featuring Kraven the Hunter, so I'm hoping that that turns out a lot funnier than this does. I'm your comic strip critic, and I read the funny pages in the hope that someday they will be.